Hey YouTube, this is Zach with Achilles Financial, and we are back with another video. And as always, I am excited to dive into some of this material and have that discussion with everyone here. There were a number of events that happened today that I want to highlight. There are a number of stocks that I am looking at for going forward that I want to walk through, as well as there is some big economic events that are happening this week. And again, we'll talk about it again next week, but I want to highlight next week's numbers as well. And then lastly, I also want to update you on a few things that I'm doing both with the channel as well as moving forward. So let's get this started. Again, some of the earnings that we were looking at yesterday that happened today. The McDonald's was rough. I know that some of you who have been commenting on the videos were watching this. I don't think that this is going to be the end-all be-all for them. Again, the stock took a hit, but it held up reasonably well, so I think that we're going to be okay there. The big news is that Pfizer, who we have continuously been holding and watching, they said that they are raising their outlook for the rest of the year, and this is big because they've been big on the coronavirus vaccine research. They started their phase 3 trials, which is like 30,000 humans, on Monday of this week. So we are anticipating those results by the end of October. And they said that they anticipate putting out millions, I think it was like 20 million vaccines by the end of this year, and like 1.1 billion by the end of 2021. So as you can see, it is part of my portfolio. I will continue building this. And then the end all be all, I do want to highlight something for everyone real quick. As you can see just on the chart right here, let's just hop over real quick to just something that I want to highlight for everyone. So it's not very often that I do this, but finally it paid off. I have been preaching about how much I loved AMD. There was a lot of people who in mid-May, they were going very long on Delta and other airline stocks. And I created this video, and I essentially just made the assumption or made the statement that if you are looking for long-term growth instead of a potential short-term flip, AMD is the stock for you. And they have rewarded that tenfold over the course of the past week. They announced earnings today, and just let me show you what happened. So if you can't tell, they announced earnings after hours, and look at this leap up. The reason that this is so exciting as well is look at the course of the past week. Again, that is 30% in 1 week. Again, they've kind of been riding this range for so long. And we saw good earnings from Micron. We saw good earnings from TSM. And then we saw negative or not very good earnings from Intel, because AMD is just eating their lunch. They are absolutely killing it. I still love the company. I'd like to see them drop, but that being said, I don't think it's going to happen in the immediate future. If anything, I anticipate we'll see a rise going forward. But just to highlight some of the earnings, again, they did pretty well for the quarter today, and I believe they actually came out to like 18 cents a share. I don't know why Robinhood is not updating this, but that's why we have other brokerages as well. But this is just an awesome stock. And I really like the CEO, I like the company, and just let me throw out some numbers for you. Last year for Q2, they had, I think it was like $35 million in revenue. This year, over that same time period, it was like 115 million for the same quarter. So they are just ramping up, and they are absolutely killing it. So kudos to AMD. Kudos to the team there, and congratulations to everyone who had that in their portfolio. So before I go into kind of some of the other stocks, we're looking at AMD, which again we've been preaching about here on the channel for a while. We are looking at Pfizer, which again they are over the past month just rocking and rolling. Again, we've had a lot of success with Pfizer, whether that's been on the call side or whether on the share side. So I've been very pleased with not only this portfolio performance, but just between Pfizer and AMD, very, very happy. So that being said, for those of you who watch these videos, who find the content engaging, if you can drop a like on this video as well as subscribe, that would be very beneficial. And hopefully you'll continue to get these tips and cash in on the dividends that Pfizer is paying out later this week. So that being said, if you are a supporter, Then I do want to pitch the fact that Achilles Financial has launched the Instagram page. Again, this is Zach with Achilles Financial. If you could support, I will drop the tagline down below in the comment section. It would be awesome, and I would appreciate your continued support. So thank you very much for those of you who are supporting as it is. I really appreciate it and am thankful for it. So let's dive into some earnings plays. So we've got some stocks that are announcing earnings tomorrow that I think are going to be pretty important. Again, PayPal, they're expecting a big number. However, as you can see, they've actually been trading sideways for the better part of the past month after they kind of hit this plateau. I think that it's already been priced in. The option chain is kind of reflecting that. They're not expecting a crazy move. So I'm not planning, or I have not set up any plays for PayPal. Some of the stocks that I have set up plays for, I do have calls on Nvidia based off the AMD earnings. The stocks that I want to watch though, or I'd like to see shop drop, because if you look at, again, over 3 months, they've just absolutely killed it. Again, they were up again today. They've been over $1,000 before, but they just keep going up and up and up, and I think they have the capability to maintain that in the long term, but right now there's just not enough profit to generate that. So if they do announce a profit tomorrow, I think that that's going to be huge for them. And the big one is going to be Boeing. So I am not playing Boeing because they are expensive. So in fact, I do want to dive in really quick into kind of some of the options pricing that they have available here. Just because as you can see, just for stuff by the end of the week, the stock price right now is trading right at 170-ish. And as you can see, look at these calls for some of the pricing. So that's over 2 days. They're expecting $5 moves. And that is not a small, the small premium to pay just for 2 days. So they've got some serious movement. Again, we've got $10 just for the end of next week. Not something that I'm necessarily looking to play at this point in time. However, I think there are benefits to, as you can see here, we have some huge companies that are announcing not tomorrow, but Thursday. So the reason that I want to highlight this is because Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google have all just seen incredible growth over the course of the past 3 months. I mean, look at this. It's just been up and up and up. So that being said, I don't know if there's a benefit to trying to trade this at this point in time. I mean, look at this. It's just they have not stopped. And I think a lot of that is priced into the earnings play. So what I'm actually looking at, I actually have some puts on SPY, because I think that if one of these stocks drop, then the market could get a little excited and drop as well. So going to be watching these to play. Again, probably reference them again in tomorrow's video. But these 4, or technically 5, although Google's a little weird on that, I'm going to be watching them for later this week. Lastly, I do want to highlight that we haven't had anything crazy from an economics perspective over the past 2 weeks. Tomorrow, there could be surprises with the rate decision. I anticipate that it's going to be steady and be at 0% for the most part, so be watching that. Nothing crazy, but the jobs are going to come out on Thursday, so I want to watch those as well. The big thing that I want to watch is next week we are going to be announcing the unemployment rate, so that'll be next Friday. That's the one we're going to watch. We're going to talk about that on Sunday's video. But just be aware that these events are available and we can be watching these, just because there is a lot of value to understanding how these impact the economy and how those make that move. So that being said, I'll reiterate, if you found this content helpful, please drop a like below, and I appreciate all the support that you all have provided today. Let's go make some money.